I've put this off for like a good day, mainly because I saw so many spoilers that I knew if I watched it like yesterday, all the spoilers were still in my head, and I have so many things to say already. Hello, friends and gamers. So this is gonna be a big one. I already know the runtime of this video is gonna be like 20 minutes for a 4-minute trailer. I already know it's gonna cap out around there. I know it for a fact because we have so much to cover. So we have a new MYRIAD CELESTIA trailer for Honkai Star Rail. It was posted a day ago. I did see some spoilers, but I did try to avoid because this is for our Gron. We're back here. We're back in the Honkai universe. I've seen so many things, and already I'm so excited. One thing I do want to point out, even before we get started, I did see that there is a Herrscher's reference, like a direct, it's almost like fully direct. And in the last video, the animated short, it mentions 12 sentinels. And I was like, oh, that's the flame chasers, but one got booted to God knows where. No, it's just the Herrschers. I'm almost positive the 12 sentinels mentioned in the description for the animated short, Rondo Across Countless Kalpas. My brain went to flame chasers because Kalpas is one of the names of the flame chasers, if you don't know. So my brain immediately went, oh, flame chasers, that's what it is. No, there's 12 Herrschers. The sentinels are the Herrschers. It just has a different name because all the Hoyoverse games give different names to things when you're in a different place. So, including Genshin, the different nations, I think, have different names for like the same stuff. So, that's nothing new. I just wanted to point that out because I saw someone bring it up because this video does, that's what I was just talking about with spoilers. This video does more directly mention some of the Herrschers. So it just makes sense that the 12 sentinels mentioned in the description of the last video would be the 12 Herrschers, you know? That being said, Archon might be one of the sentinels because May is a Herrscher. Anyways, I think, again, we probably have to start here. Because another really fun thing is that there's an Oni mentioned here, and in the, I believe the Chinese and Japanese video versions, it is the voice actor for Kevin from Honkai. I brought up Kevin. I bring up Kevin a lot. He's an enigma. Love him to death, but he's insane at the same time. We love Kevin. Because this was, okay, here it is. The 12 Herrschers right here, but it mentions the sentinels again. Okay, so it has everything. We have literally, what more could you want? Okay, I think we have to go through this description again just because it is a block of text, a whole chunk, but it is line by line, so this is probably going to be the bulk of the video. I'm going to be honest, just going back through this line by line. And I have to be somewhere soon. Like, I have to start getting ready, like finish getting ready, because I'm halfway ready soon. But so we move. But the dual planets were intertwined in each other's tragic destiny, and a dead song was scattered amongst the cave where light hid. Full proper noun. Not sure what that is supposed to be referenced to. The song had no beginning and no end, and no sound and no echo. Came from no singer and was heard by none, thus uttered. That's why it's line by line, because it's a song. Technically, it would be poetry. Takamagahara, endless like Izumo, for it was a paradise perfect in its place. I do wonder if these will be directly like lines from the trailer, but we'll see that in a second. Probably more than a second. Yet the sky turned dark and the great sun pulled the tides, and the kami left numerous trails as if migrating. The Yayorozu no Makakami manifested and slaughtered without mercy, yet little did they expect their peerless authority to be stolen and taken. Izumo broke 70,033 warriors' blades. Is that I'm trying to be like 77033. I'm like, is that a number somewhere? It's such a specific number that I'm like, that has to be a number somewhere, right? Because it's also not like it doesn't throw in like a 4. There's no 4. Because that 4 is, why 4 is important because the number 4, even though I don't know, because I know in Chinese, the number 4 sounds similar to the word for death. So the 4 is like very unlucky, but there's no 4. So I'm like, I'm not sure because the lore, even like you can see with the non-English words used here, the lore around Honkai Mei and Archeron is more adjacent to the Japanese language, which I don't know as well. So I'm like, does that number mean something? Because it's a Honkai game. Everything means something. Everything means something. You can read into everything. But the blades forging the majestic sentinels, 12 in number. That's the Herrschers with a different name in a different mirrored universe. The first was Truth, because the Herrscher of Truth is Bronya. The Herrscher of Truth is Bronya, which Sovereign of Revelation was mentioned last time, and I think when I heard that Sovereign of Revelation, I thought of Wilt and I thought of Otto. So to make it very simple, the first Hersher of Truth, used to be, well, technically, but then it was Bronya. You with me? You with me? Okay. It allowed mortals to comprehend all laws and order, to dissect all things, and to recreate miracles. The second was Sky, forged with the slain eternal zenith. I really should have brushed up on my Hersher lore before going into this because I don't remember the order. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the order of the Hershers. I've brought this up recently, I don't remember the order. It could turn the sky into walls and fortresses and pose obstacles for the Magatsu no Murakami's steps. The third was Howl, forged with the slain almighty thunder. This, I believe, is supposed to be Hersher of Thunder. It could summon lightning to tear the sky, and the soaring meteors and thunder dealt divine justice. I think that's Hersher of Thunder. Yeah, I'm just looking at the other names here, and that should be Hersher of Thunder, which is May. The fourth was Mist, forged with the slain Everbreath. It could make winds break and shear the land, for gales to rage forever and ceasing. That could be Wendy, which, for Genshin fans in the audience, is actually technically not necessarily an XP, but like another version situation of Venti, Genshin Impact, who is the Animo Archon. In fact, their names, I have brought this up before, but I'm gonna bring it up here just because it's been a minute. Their names in Chinese are the same, because Venti in Chinese is said Wenti, because there's no V sound. So, and then Wendy in Chinese is Wenti. So I think that's how that works. Anyways, we're touching on everything today. The fifth was Frost, forged with the slain Heaven's winter cloak. It could freeze and still the very order of time to create boundless frozen wastes and stretch one moment into eternity. Also brought up in Honkai. The sixth was Fate, forged with the slain spurned sister of mortality. It could make flowers bloom and cover barren graves for life and death to dance in a cycle of dissipate. That might be Sela. That might be Hersher of Rebirth, but I'm also not entirely. It could be Hersher of Rebirth because there's not a mention of. I'm looking at like the other words. There's not a mention of that anywhere else, and it sounds like it could be because the spurned sister of mortality could make flowers bloom and cover barren graves. That sounds very Hersher of Rebirth coded. The seventh was Flare, forged with the slain Flamebringer. Should be Hersher of Flame Scion, which is Kiana. One of Kiana's Hersher forms. There's a couple. Don't keep up. It could summon fires to burn down the very world, to touch the skies, and to char the earth. That should be Flame Scion. The eighth was Thought, forged with slain Wisdom Supreme. Okay. Is that Reason? That could be Reason, which is also Bronya. Keep up. Wait, I think I flipped him. Hersher of Truth. I'm mixing up my Bronya Hersher forms. I think Hersher of Reason was Hersher of Reason first, because that means Welt was not the original Hersher of Truth. Welt was the original Hersher of Reason, I think. I think I flipped my Bronya Hersher forms. See, I don't remember the order, guys. Okay, yeah, Hersher of Truth is the newer Bronya Hersher form, so that was not Welt. That was just Bronya. But Hersher of Reason, which I believe is Thought in this world universe situation, would technically be the one that Welt originally occupied. That's the one. We made it there eventually. Some of the main trio of Honkai have two Hersher forms. Please keep up. Just rock with it. If you don't know Honkai Impact, just rock with it for now. It kind of makes sense. It makes enough sense if you rock with it. It could discern the past and future with the Mirror of Water to tell truth from lies over years beyond reckoning. That should be Hersher of Reason, I'm thinking. Just because wisdom. I'm thinking that's it. But the ninth was Root, forged the slain Father of Lands. It could command islands to float into the heavens, for mountains and valleys to burst before armies. I cannot put my finger on which one that is. The 10th was Form, forged the slain Netherlord. It could make the masses join in unity, for endless forms to ebb and flow as one. Some of these middle ones, I cannot pinpoint right now. It's fine. Maybe I would be curious though to look up a list of the Hershers in order and see if they kind of coincide with this, because that would make a lot more sense as well. We might do that in like 2 seconds. The 11th was Bind, forged with the slain Omen Ward. It drove misfortune into a binding cage for evil and demons to instantly vanish. One of these has to be Hersher of Sentience as well, but I can't put my finger on that one. We love Senti. Senti is iconic. The 12th was Maw, forged with the slain Woe's AT. It could corrode and age the very mortal world and make equal Kami and Oni, leaving an entity's 4 souls to be sundered in twain. That is the 12, but interesting. Okay. Then the underworld was cleared out. The wars called to a halt, because there's 2 more. And I think I see him coming. And the 12 blades broken and locked. So them specifically being blades is also most likely a reference to the divine keys, and I did not come up with that. That is something I did see on Twitter as well. But the Hershers are relevant to the divine keys, which there's also 12 of in Honkai. Keep up. In the emptiness, the dead souls grew restless, and under the black sun, 2 blades were forged as bearer of the world's destiny. There we go. There's our last 2. One was named Origin, and the other named End. For all begun with humanity and shall end with Oni kind. Now, this is very important. Put a pin in this, because Origin and End is another word for finality. Origin and finality are the final two Herschers that we have. One of them being Herrscher of Origin, Mei, which is Mei's final Herrscher form, who is the mirrored and or XP version of Archeron, and then End, another word for finality. Herrscher of Finality is Kiana's final Herrscher form, which is also a major Honkai Impact character who may or may not be involved as the nameless god in Genshin. Keep up! The sounds of lamentation ceased, and the dead flowers rose and fell. The losers returned to the void, and the winners became null. The hobbling monk sang the song without a tune. For those who hold the power of Kami are walking backwards towards divinity. Witnessed by the great sun, the land once named Izumo became completely devoid of humans, Oni, and Kami. So, we did some analysis. The next thing, I do want to look up and see if I can find a numbered list of Herschers, because the Herschers do have, like, there is a numbered list. And I want to see if they're the same. Because some of these I can directly point to other, like, direct Herrscher mentions, like Herrscher of Truth, obviously. But I do want to look this up really fast, because I'm annoying. Because that's the other thing, Herrscher of Truth being first here, I originally did think it was Welt, or the Herrscher of Reason, because Herrscher of Reason is the one that's listed first. But that might just be in order of when they appear in the game, but no, it can't be. I don't think they are in proper order. No, they are, because Howl, the third Herrscher, is Herrscher of Thunder, which would be this Howl. Okay, Mist then is next, which would be Herrscher of Wind, which is Wendy. Okay, we got something going here. Frost is Ice. Fate is, did I say Fate? Sister of Mortality I said could be Herrscher of Rebirth, which Herrscher of Rebirth is next. So I did get that one right as well. The thing where it starts to divulge is that the sixth being Fate, because technically there's the Herrscher of Death and Herrscher of Rebirth. Technically two different versions of Sela. Rock with it, okay? Rock with it. And then we go straight to number 8, which is Senti. So now we're starting to get a little bit weird. 10, though, is Herrscher of Domination, which would make sense. We're missing some. Oh, we're missing some. Some of them don't have numbers. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense then. Flame Scion doesn't technically have a number, would be Flare. Herrscher of Truth also technically doesn't have a number, but it'd be 1. Because Origin and Finality also don't have numbers, but they're down here. We're really rocking with this. They're 7? Okay, I'm looking at a different list, and 7 is Fire, which this list thinks is Himeko? I guess technically that would make sense. That would make enough sense. Senti thought then. Interesting. Okay, you know what? This is making sense. Because also the list I'm looking at right now, it says the 11th Herrscher is the Herrscher of Binding, which is actually the same here. Okay, we're rocking with this now. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. There's a couple of different lists, because Honkai sometimes gets weird. Okay, this makes sense. So these are supposed to be like representations of the Herrschers in a different universe. Okay, we've made sense of this. We did make sense of this. So the actual video now, it took me 20 minutes just to go through this list. Okay, a cleave across the transient world, Kyoden. This is what we're watching. Let's just get into it. I've seen some, oh God, I've seen some spoilers. So technically this is supposed to be Kevin. This is supposed to be Kevin speaking, right? So this would be Kevin's English voice.
Forged these blades.
Okay, you know what? It works. A little bit edgy. He's a little bit edgy. It works. At least in the beginning. I love the art style as well. It's really nice.
Because in times past, when the Yao Yorozu no Kami
I love this actually.
they brought death and disaster on this world and its
There she is, because the horns are Mei.
to save the world.
Oh, this is so weird to
Izumo
watch.
Splintered 70,033.
I've seen people bring up that this Izumo
12 centimeters.
area, this could very, because you have these buildings and then this like more traditional architecture. This area could very well be Nagazora, which is like Honkai Japan. Rock with it. But it could be Nagazora,
The first
which would
was
make
truth,
sense.
forged by
Herrscher
the
of Truth.
sovereign of revelation.
Yeah, okay. That makes enough
It
sense.
could teach mortals the
I
way of
love
God
this
and
art as
create
well. It's
miracles
so
from deconstruction
cool.
of all things.
So this, her truth is supposed to be reason, which I guess would make
Second, the
sense.
sky, forged by the
That is
eternal
Herrscher, sky is void. Sky is void. Yep. This is the Herrscher of the Void art.
a barrier from the further
Literally, if you have not seen it, which you probably should, look up, I forget what the name of the cutscene is, but you can also look up Final Lesson, because it's in Final Lesson. Which is a Honkai, Final Lesson is a Honkai cutscene. If you look up Honkai Final Lesson, you'll find it. Look out for Kiana in quotations, technically it's Siren. Kiana slash Siren slash Hersher the Void. Look out for how she uses her Honkai powers. It's the same art. Literally, it's the same. It's the same. It is because also she uses this type of weapon. This is Hersher of Thunder. Yeah, this is with a dragon, because Honkai Mei does have a dragon. This is technically Wendy. Okay, that makes enough sense. I already am like missing my list.
Freezing the land.
Frost is not one that's totally fully brought up.
The restless cycle of
Fate.
life.
Oh, okay, yeah, this one is most definitely Rebirth.
Then there was Flare.
Flare, yeah.
Root.
Now we're kind of going through them quickly.
Bind. Maw. With those sentinels we
Yeah.
seized
Oh,
with
the
knowledge.
swords. That's really cool.
Winning victory after victory.
It is it's really cool. It's interesting how they take, hold on, we'll go through that. It's interesting how they take a very different approach. It feels like it feels more, the approach they're taking like feels like pre-Flame Chasers, because the Flame Chasers were the main Honkai story. There's a lot going on in Honkai, guys. There's 40 chapters, over 40 chapters in part 1, okay? Okay? There's a lot going on. But it feels like this would be pre-Flame Chasers almost. And then that's something that the original Honkai story in part 1 goes back to. It feels like it makes sense, right? Right?
Victory after victory.
But I like how they incorporate it.
We're broken.
Yeah, by you, Kevin.
The price of
By
every
you.
victory was a world in its entirety.
It's so interesting to hear, like, this is supposed to be Kevin.
That entirety was lost.
It's supposed to be Kevin speaking. It feels weird.
And
Because
so
we've never had, like, an
Zeus
English
forged
voice for
12
him.
sentinels
Yeah.
and forged them into two bearers.
Into two bear. Okay.
The
So,
first was Origin.
Origin is May. Who are they going to show for finality?
Was End.
Okay, so Big Sword actually
World
makes sense with
forged
Kiana enough.
70,047 blades,
I
and only
didn't
one
read
could save his
70,040. Is that a different number?
But you and I,
Wow.
the road to
It's so interesting that it's Kevin as well.
there is no
with May.
tomorrow.
Or not May, it's Archeron. Wow.
Resisting the Kamigami.
That's so, whoa. The different art styles used are insane. Because there's been a couple of different art styles at this point.
For the destruction of two worlds.
How cool is it though? It's cool. It's really cool.
Takamagahara, upon which the kami.
I've heard some things about the music in this and I haven't noticed it yet,
Beautiful as Izumo.
but maybe it's the end. I've heard some things about music, which
Do you still remember why Izumo fought?
I think I don't know if I was paying attention because I think it's over. Or unless it's here because of a lie.
An end that never existed.
I'm paying so close
We
attention to the
long
music.
since strode
Because
into the shadow.
it just hit me.
Each
That's something I
step
saw
forward
on the internet.
beacon
I don't want the internet to lie. I might have.
until the last
Ooh.
blade is forged into
Aid and life.
not.
Okay. The switch up. Evil may be like. Evil Honkai may be like. Wow, that's beautiful, that art. That is really pretty.
I knew this world was fleeting.
Oh. Oh.
And yet,
I'm gonna cry! Stop! I need to be places today. Oh my god, that's beautiful. I want to watch it again without talking, and so I'm gonna cut it out. But I need to listen for the music, because another spoiler that I remember like halfway through this video is that I think it's Honkai World Diva is played like an instrumental version of it, and I didn't directly hear it. So I feel like I need to watch through it again, because again, I'm gonna be very brief about it. Honkai World Diva is the song played in the chapter where May leaves Kiana. The break off point where this story technically would have taken place. Technically. Very technically. Because what I've said before, and I've seen other people saying, so I know I'm not insane, is that the story of Archeron seems like the version of Honkai that would have happened if May could not save, quotations, Kiana. I'm just being very brief about it because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, because you should play Honkai Impact 3rd. But Honkai World Diva is that song. It's the song played in that part of the story. There's a big cutscene. I was surprised when I first played through it because I'd heard Honkai World Diva before playing it in the game, and I did not know that's where it plays. But it works really well, because at first I was like, oh, that's not fitting. And then I listened to it for like 5 seconds and I was like, actually it is. I lied. And I've heard that it's a instrumental or reprised version is used here. And I didn't directly hear it, but I'm gonna listen a little bit closer a second time around because I do want to point it out if it is fully used, because I was like halfway through I started really listening to the music and that's when it hit my brain. I was like, oh, there's a version of Honkai World Diva in here. So I need to, or there should be at least. So I'm gonna watch through it again, just listening. I was focused too hard on Kevin, not Kevin. I think I do hear it. Oh, I hear it now. I was too focused on the Herrscher of the Void reference that I was like, I did not hear it, but I do hear the piano. It's a reprised instrumental version. Reprised being like a slowed down, more dramatic usually version of any, I think it's reprised is the word, of any song, usually pop songs. So it's a reprised version of Honkai World Diva, which is insane. That's so insane. And I feel like someone should have seen it coming, because in the past 2 Honkai concerts that have been done, they've done reprised instrumental versions of multiple of the songs. Specifically, like introductory songs, they did a whole medley thing for the, not really necessarily reprised, but they've done medleys and changed versions of songs before. Someone should have seen it coming. Either that or they were playing around with it for this trailer, because they've been apparently working on Archeron for ages. Like over a year, apparently she's been in development, which is also insane, but someone should have seen it coming. Something stemmed from something, whether it was the medleys we got in the Honkai concert, or like this was first and they decided, I don't know, something stemmed from something. I think that's so funny that they did it here. I think it's Honkai World. I think I can hear it. It was easier to hear at certain parts, but they definitely switched it, changed it a lot. It's the same sort of like chord progressions and stuff though, which is like how I noticed it. I want to point out, I love how the color schemes they picked here for Herrscher of Rebirth. Not technically Herrscher of Rebirth, but this is supposed to be a reference to Herrscher of Rebirth, because I mentioned earlier that there's technically 2 Herrscher of Rebirth that are both different versions of Sela. Rock with it. And one of the color schemes of that Herrscher is, because Sela's color scheme is usually not this, but in her Herrscher of Rebirth form, it is like white and blue. More of a purpley blue, but it is white and blue. And then the second version is technically Sela, but also technically not. Technically, it is a character named Veliona, but who is also technically Sela. Rock with it, okay? Don't ask questions if you don't know. But her color scheme is then black and red, so it makes total sense. You don't necessarily see that black and red color scheme with Herrscher of Rebirth, but it makes enough sense, because when I was also looking at the list, it said that Herrscher of Rebirth is also technically the Herrscher of Death, which would technically be that. Rock with it. I'm rocking with it. For the details I didn't immediately know in my brain, I'm rocking with it. So just rock with it, okay? It makes sense. I also, another thing I want to bring up, this like very quick cycle through, it looks like another part of Honkai, which is kind of insane. Oh my god, there's so much going on. So I want to see this part, the part where they're forged into their new things. Because if this was like a different version of the same story, Izumo splintered the Sentinels. Because that's not technically what happens, I think, in... Wow, there's so much happening. There's so much happening. The thing is, this is such a different version. It's like the same base information that is told in Honkai Impact 3rd, but it's such a different version. I'm impressed that they were able to come up with like a fully different, it's like the same lore, but told entirely differently with different proper nouns and things. It's insane how they were able to come up with this, because it's just, you would think that there'd be more similarities, even in like words and things like that, but there isn't. It's so different, but still the same at the same time. Literally, that's exactly what I said about the reprised version of Honkai World Diva that's playing. It's insane, because you have to look at, I've been sitting here for half an hour. You have to look through it with a fine-tooth comb to be like, to find all the references, really. Because honestly, if I had not seen somebody bring up that it's a reprised version of Honkai World Diva that's playing, I wouldn't know. I would not be able to tell. The music is so good, but I would not be able to tell. It's just, this is so insane. It's crazy. This is crazy. Even like the mentions to this possibly being a more broken, because Nagazora is pretty broken when you get to it in Honkai, but this being a more broken version of Nagazora is insane. I didn't notice that in the special program, because this shot is shown in the special program. It's just, it's wild. This is such the fact that they were able to come up with such a different version and it still makes sense. It still is like clearly relevant to both Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact 3rd. Insane. It's absolutely insane. I'm so excited to play through everything that has to do with Archeron. Have not gotten fully caught up with the story yet. I'm still finishing off Xianzhou, but I need to do that like now, sometime soon. But wow. I think we're gonna end here. Like I said, I've been here for half an hour. I need to cut this video down. I love, because when Archeron was first shown at the Game Awards, everyone was like, oh, that's the May XP. Or at least Honkai Impact 3rd enjoyers like myself. My first thought, I screamed and was like, it's the May XP. I think I started choking on air as well, because I went crazy for like 10 minutes after that. Game Awards is 3+ hours long, and at least like a good chunk of that I was thinking about May Honkai Impact 3rd. So, and it's not like I just was around for that one bit of the Game Awards. I sat through the whole almost 4-hour-long Game Awards. There's a video on the channel for it, and I screamed about May. What were we doing? I don't even know anymore. But oh, when that was first shown, I was like, they're not gonna go full send with this being like, they can't go that full send to the Honkai Impact 3rd references just because they haven't yet. And we literally in Belobog was like, that story only makes like 75% sense if you haven't played Honkai Impact. Like 25% of the background knowledge for Belobog comes from Honkai Impact 3rd. So like at least 25% of it. Xianzhou is a little bit more straightforward to get through if you haven't played Honkai Impact 3rd. But Belobog, there's a lot of information there that you will only be able to make sense of if you've played Honkai Impact 3rd. Not all of it, but enough of it. And so I didn't think they were going to go full send with Honkai Impact 3rd references for Archeron, but they are. They're fully going full send, and it's kind of wild. So I'm impressed. Did not think this would happen back in like December, but here we are. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world. Yes, I'm speedrunning this outro because I've been here for godforsakenly too long. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys!